Hello Jammers, welcome to our how-to and video journal for the room box for Ever After High Dolls Hat-TASTIC. Definitely love this room, colorful. Again, like the powder room and dressing room, I did not repeat putting on the ceiling and floor. You've seen that in the first 4 or 5, so I've left it at here. Here I am showing you what I do. Quickly put the tape on it, line it up, get it even, glue it to the bottom and the top, and then we have a ceiling and a floor. Now here's my wallpaper, which is a nice cardstock, which I use sticky glue for, is my favorite thing. And it was striped, and I was just, I don't know, it was talking to me, and it said, let's put this on variegated, some straight, some sideways, vertical, horizontal, and that's kind of what I went with, and I really like that idea, especially because it's Maddie's Hat-TASTIC tea party, so it seemed like I can get a little bit of Wonderland fun into it. So here you can see I am lining it up and looking. The problem with this box is it's not exactly square, so to get it straight I had some issues. The bottom wainscoting part is going to be this textured paintable wallpaper that I had left over from the Monster High dollhouse. I think I used this definitely in the schoolroom and possibly in the dining room, not sure, but I'm going to glue that on. That's just another thing, something different for these rooms. So here again I'm marking as usual, figuring out where my curtains are going to be, which of course I've kept pretty much the same so we have that consistency of a dorm room look, and I know where to put my glue so that my future valance will have some strength behind it. Alright, now here was the problem. When I tried to line this up over here, to make it look to the eye true and straight, that left me with a strange gap over in the side or the corner, and I felt that the eye was going to catch that too much, so I had a slight solution to try and fix that. Can you see where that blue and then the lines are coming through? It just wasn't working for me, and it was going to ruin this whole look. Even if I did it straight, it would have been kind of messed up. So what I did is took some blue paint. I wonder if you noticed this in the tour, and it just so happened that that blue line goes down, so I just covered it up with paint and hoping it would blend, and we'd have, there it is, we'd have one line of blue instead of it going into different colors. I hope that makes sense and I'm explaining that right. You can see on the left there it is crooked, but at least it does look like one blue line instead of going into the different colors of lines that were in there. This paper is just so attractive to me, and somehow worked perfectly with Hat-TASTIC. So now I'm putting on the wallpaper border, and it's just as simple as doing it when I attach them. Actually maybe a little bit easier because I don't have to worry about getting the glue in between the lines. I was very careful not to put too much on and kind of soak this and get the glue that's on the wallpaper too wet, so I was a little light in my glue, constantly paying attention and shifting it to make sure that I would get this straight across with my somewhat demented little distorted box. Here's a great example of what I do a lot. I put the furniture I'm working with in the area constantly, and gives me the visual. I've made sketches, but it never really, I don't trust my drawings, so I put everything in to kind of have a look and rearrange and see what best, where I like things. So that's just showing you, and I do that constantly. So I want this to be a light purple, the one I'm showing now, but that doesn't cover white. White is a hard color to cover, believe it or not, so I'm going to do a dark purple base first, and that'll get me my good coverage, blind that white out, and help me out getting the color I truly want. I'm using a piece of cardboard as a drop cloth so I can not spill and drip on my beautiful glittery floor. And here's just me painting a little bit, showing you the texturized wallpaper stuff. You kind of have to work it a bit, and it will be very blotchy. I already knew this, again, from the Monster High doll room and from doing this stuff in real life, and so I had to work it in. and it's a little time consuming. And again, why there is a drop cloth, because you're moving around so much, you got very good chances of splashing or flicking the paint onto different areas that you don't want. So yeah, that's me just painting away, working it into everything. You could actually play with this and do one coat and have those textures pop out and just leave it with one coat if you like. I, on the other hand, was going to go a different route again, as I said. So blend. Sure showed a lot of this footage, didn't I? Okay, now I'm going to just continue that on, and then when I'm done, I'm going to put the real coat of color I want on it. And here I've done that. You can see still that some of the dark purple is showing through. Yes, I did do a third coat. It just happens that way to get the solid color you want. When it's dry and I'm done, as per usual, I will use my gold duct tape and wrap it around. Well, I guess I kind of started doing it down there. Then I have these little canvases, and I wanted to put these bright, beautiful flowers on there. I love that it was square and they could look each and every different way. So I'm just going to give those a coat of paint. While things are drying, I'm going to take my stands. I tend to like to do this in the surprise rooms, and I'm going to prime it first, my favorite primer, put on my blue coat, and then put on the glitter to make that blend in. Using my primer just because it was out instead of white paint, I started hand painting the wallpaper border. I got some plans for colors there, and I ended up changing that up a little bit. It just, when I put the furniture in, didn't seem like it was going to pop enough. And I got my primer out, and just like the legacy books, I had to detail the pages of these books, and I think that made them pop a little bit better. Didn't take much time, and I definitely think the results were fantastic. So here's the colors I kind of changed up just a little bit, and I guess I'm giving you a visual of me painting. I know this goes on for a little while because I know some other people like visuals, and here I am showing me doing it. It's kind of just like painting nails, really. Very important that you, I've said this many times, embrace your hand. If my hand were free floating in the air, trust me, it would be nowhere near as steady as this. And that's how it works. If you kind of noticed, just previous to this, I also have the board or a piece of cardboard under my hand in case I got paint on my hands, because I tend to be a little sloppy every now and then. There it is. I'm balancing on the board, and so I don't just happen to scratch it up. So that's me painting the little circles. I wanted just something to make it different than the other surprise rooms, but not too much, because there's a lot going on in this room. Yeah, I made an oops up there in my counting. So here's my little canvases, and they are painted, and then I just put a little puffy paint. You know me, adding just a little bit more glitter. And then I have to play now with my trims. These trims were all in the dollar bin. Sometimes that doesn't work out to your advantage, so I really had a challenge getting these just right and covering. And you can see they're very see-through, so I really had to work with them. And in the end, it did work out. In this part, I think I'm showing the challenges I had with those trims. This one was very flimsy and had that little looping on the bottom and top, so this one was mandatory that I had to put some puffy paint to be the little quarter round, even though I would have done it anyway. I picked the glitter blue because it's just fun. This one again had loops, so it wasn't going to make it solid up at the ceiling, as you can see here. So I took this smaller stuff and put that at the top to fill in that gap. I like the little gold. There was a little gold flint in there, so that blue actually worked out well. That one was pretty self-explanatory. I bought that piece from Joann's, I believe, painted it black and put the T on there. Now for these flowers, often I've used flowers and you need the back to be flat, so I thought I'd show this. If you just cut that stem off, the little flower there will it'll just fall out. Yeah, I got a little stuck there. So here I'm showing where I put some hot glue and really smushed that down so that the flower part is glued both to the flower and to the stem. And then, well, yeah, if it would stop holding on to me, I take my scissors and then I can cut off the stem as close as I can get. So now I'm going to have a flush surface for these flowers. This was really handy when I used to do hair barrettes for Gracie when she was younger. So this one comes pretty natural. And of course, to attach it to the little canvases, just blob a whole bunch of hot glue on there, get it centered, and voila, we have some very colorful, fun art. I like the flowers because they reminded me of Fascinators. Being Hat-tastic, I thought that kind of came together very well. And of course, I will put those up on the walls. Now we have everything looking really quite neat here, and I am at this point very excited putting my decorations up, and I'm liking it. And there's a nice close-up of how that double trim worked up there. This is what I'm going to use for my lights. Once again, we'll just hot glue them up, and then Mod Podge is always good, especially for the floors. It's not always needed on the ceiling, but definitely I like it on the floor so it doesn't get scratched up from the shoes or the stands or the pieces you put in there. So what's next? Let's just take this in and have a peek. Oh yeah, these colors are going perfect with Hat-tastic. Oh, so what I forgot to mention is when I put those up, this was a magnet. So I wasn't confident the hot glue was going to hold it on forever. So I ended up putting a little bit of clear caulk on it just to give it a good solid holding power. Hot glue, of course, to hold it in place, and then the caulking to make it stay. Got some leftover fabrics here from you've seen from other rooms, and now I've got to create my little curtains, which I love that fabric. It is so funky. It was one of those moments you're in the store and go, oh, I must use that. I must use that. So here's my stands. They are painted by hand in blue, and then I've put my glitter on it. Again, I'm playing with my furniture and pieces. I do have an extra chair. I forgot to mention that on the tour. I bought that separately and loose on eBay. That came in really handy as a purchase I'm super duper happy about. And it's totally changed from what I originally thought. And then considering the dolls I need to put in it, this really helps me quite a bit to figure out which way I'm going to lay the room out. The little detail on the pages did wonders for this working out and looking just a little bit better. So now I have all my teapots, and now I have my museum wax, and besides the curtains, that is basically going to be, well, no, I have the curtains done. So let's just get these little pieces all waxed in because I don't want them going flying over. Simple room, colorful, psychedelic. Add in those dolls. We got our Hat-tastic tea room. Thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this video journal. See you next time.